my name's Ava, and this is the story of how I was stalked in my second to last semester of college by a guy who also lived on campus. Okay, so to kind of set the stage, there were 3 guys. This never happens to me, actually ever. Like, I swear, the stars aligned to give me the most suffocating and chaotic week ever. So, on one hand, I was trying to end a hinge situationship with one boy, and I wasn't interested in another who kept trying to pursue me online. And then the last boy is the boy that this video is about. So let's focus on bro. Anyways, I was walking back to my room from probably eating at the dining hall, and I was walking through 2 dorm buildings, and this guy was like walking towards me. Like, he was like where I was trying to go, if that makes sense. And he's looking at me and he goes, "Hey, how's it going?" First of all, let me interject here. I don't know how it is for other students, but from what I've noticed, people don't talk to each other in passing unless they know each other or they're like complimenting each other's outfits or something. So the fact that bro talked to me struck me as like really strange because I'd never seen him before. So anyways, I'm like, "Hi, good, haha." And he goes, "Nice, wink." And I'm like, huh? What was that? Anyways, that was it for that part. And then fast forward to October. On this specific Tuesday, I was going to sisters in Disneyland, and they were vacationing, and anyways, I was gonna meet them. Anyways, I didn't look that great. Let's just put it out there. I looked okay. So this very morning, I was just drafting a nice, like, "Hey, I'm not interested" message. I'm talking to someone else, to the guy who was trying to pursue me on Instagram. So I was in the dining hall after this, and I was getting fruit, and I had just finished, and I was gonna go sit down to eat when I saw that bro again from walking past me, and I was like, "Oh, it's that guy." But there's no way I was gonna say anything. And then we made eye contact, and I went to walk past him, and as soon as we passed each other, he goes, "Hey." Whoa. I was like, "Huh? Hi? I need to talk to you." Okay. Where are you sitting? Over there at the end? Okay, I'll be there in a sec. By the way, we were so in everyone's way. Like, there were so many people, and it was high-key not cool that he stopped me near so many people and in so many people's way. Like, I was so uncomfortable. And then on the walk back to my seat, and in the few minutes I waited, I was so confused and scared. People don't talk to me, okay? I don't talk to guys. People don't talk to me. It was weird. And then eventually he came over. He put his messenger bag on the floor next to me and sat to my right while we were sitting at this counter. And he's like, "So, hey, I just had to stop you because you give me serial killer vibes." What? I give you serial killer vibe? Yeah, it's the eyes and your demeanor. What? So I was just wondering, what's your preferred method? My preferred method? Yeah, is it witchcraft? I'm getting witchcraft. Huh? No. I'm not a serial killer. But if it was, it would be arson. Oh, what's your major? Entertainment, art, and animation? So what, like you want to make cartoons for kids? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure yet. That's kind of pedo-y. What? He told me he was a junior history major and wants to go into the Army Reserves. And then he said, "I'll have to ask you some more questions later." Later? Yeah. Later on tonight. Whoa. No. I'm kind of talking to someone. I don't know if that's why you came up to me, but I can't meet up later. Man, I should have found you months ago. And then he starts to get up and he's like, "I have to go to class. Do you want my name?" Yeah, you can give me your name if you want. It's redacted. "Oh, I'm Ava. Nice to meet you, Ava. Do you want my number?" No, thanks. That's okay." No? Bro was so surprised. I was like, why is he so surprised? "Okay, bye." And then he walked away to return his dishes. And then he came back near me on his way out and he's like, "But if it doesn't work out, you know what I mean." Huh? Bro's preying on my downfall? I was for real in disbelief, okay? I was like, what the heck? And he def gave me army vibes because he was very stiff and monotonous. And I don't know what ethnicity he was, but he was a little darker than me and he had a buzz cut. He wasn't bad looking, but I was low-key just like put off by him. Yeah. Oh yeah, and at first, he asked me if I was a freshman. So if anyone is close to being a pedo, it's him. Because like I said, I was in my 5th year of college, he was in his 3rd year. Why is he asking me if I just got out of high school? Anyway, so I'm thinking, this will be the last I see of him. Tell me why I was at dinner the next day and I was on my phone and I saw him slide his messenger bag on the floor next to me. There's no freaking way. And he was like, bro, he knew. He was like, "You look scared." I was like, low-key girl, I am. And he was like, "I didn't think I'd see you so soon again." Girl, that's my line. I didn't think I'd see you. This is like the 3rd time I've ever really seen you and I really thought it wasn't gonna happen again. And he was like, "3rd?" And I was like, "Yeah, the first time, didn't we pass each other and you said hi to me?" And he was like, "Yeah." And you laughed at me. And I was like, "Yeah, because it was weird." And he's like, "Yeah, but you remembered it. That's crazy." And then I said, "It was weird." And he said, "You're weird." And I said, "What? What? How am I weird?" This is actually the 4th time. And I was like, "Huh? The 4th time?" And he was like, "Yeah, at the floor meeting at the beginning of school." What? Floor meeting? I was like, I didn't see you there. Well, we didn't talk, but I was there. So like at this point in my little brain, I'm thinking, what the flip? Bro not only lives in my building, but apparently also my floor or the one below it. I have to run into him in my building, but possibly also my floor. That's crazy. Are you going to class after this? By the way, I had a giant art board next to me and I said, yes, girl. And he said, which class? And I said, drawing and painting the head and hands. Are they naked in that class? What? Okay, first of all, I told him this. I was like, considering it's the head and hands, no, they're not, because that would be weird. I'm going to Japanese history. Right now we're learning about weapons, gunpowder and nuclear. POV or me, you're just looking out the window because I'm sitting at a counter. I wish I could leave. And then he's like, you're not listening to me, are you? And I said, yeah, gunpowder and nuclear, girl, I heard you. What are you doing? People watching? Oh, so you like to sit here every day and people watch, you see the same cards and the same couples. What? Girl, what? No. I was like, I'm usually on my phone. I'm only looking out the window because you're here. And he's like, oh, because you sit here every day. You don't talk much to people. What? You get to the dining hall every day at 8:08 a.m. What? Are you watching me? And he was like, oh, my head's always on a swivel because of PTSD. Hold up. This is me in my head. How does bro already have PTSD? I thought he was going into the army. Yo soy lost. Why do you always sit at a counter? Because I feel bad taking up the whole table if it's just me. Like, why am I going to take up an entire table when I can just take up one seat? And then I was like, where do you sit? Like, I've literally never seen you. It's a secret. What? And then I don't know how this connects either. Low-key, I might be missing something. But then he said, like, when did they finish the new art building? Girl, when the frick am I supposed to know? I was like, probably before school. And he's like, well, I better see one of your paintings hanging up in there. And I literally was like, so done. I was like, okay, well, that'll be hard. Why? Because I'm not in any painting classes. Oh, then drawings, sorry. They don't put up drawings. I have to go to class. And then I got up, I put my dishes away, and I came back, and he said, what's that? Your canvas? It's a board. Bruh, this is so stupid. He was like, same time tomorrow morning. I'm sure you'll be here. I know you'll be here. What the frick, bruh? This is pissing me off all over again. Because, like, leave me alone. I'm clearly not interested. I didn't take his number, and I said I was talking to somebody. Is that not guy code? Leave me alone. I was a little nervous that he would wait outside my building. I had to, like, ditch my friends that I usually walk out with and, like, go a different way because I was scared. And it was 10 p.m. because it was a night class. So I called my dad, and my head was, like, for real on a swivel. Like, girl, I was afraid. I got back to my apartment, and I told my friend, my roommate, I was like, girl, I have so much to tell you, but it's literally gonna take me 15 years, so let's just go to breakfast tomorrow. So I told her everything, and I didn't even get to everything, by the way, by the time he freaking approached me again. I was like, surely he won't approach me at my table when I'm with my friend. And then we were in line for breakfast, and I was talking to my friend, and I was like, surely he won't approach me while I'm talking in line with my friend, Ava. And I was like, I would actually rather die. I froze, like, for real. I was scared, and I turned around, because why are you talking to me while I'm literally in line to get food? And he's like, we're sitting at a table. No. Yeah, no, I'm eating with my friend. Oh, okay. And he, like, scurried away. I was like, what the F was that? And then my friend, like, told me after, she was like, bro, he just appeared out of nowhere. And I was like, this is what I've been trying to tell you. And then this is also where I found out he was shorter than me. But then after that, it basically stopped there. Like, there were a few times where we were walking somewhere and she saw him and she, like, spun and pushed me out of the way, and it, like, freaked me out, and my heart rate spiked to 147. And then there was, like, another time a couple weeks later that I saw him in the stairwell, and, like, he looked at me and then just went on, like, down the stairs. So it was kind of weird. And then that friend, actually, she would also, like, stand in front of me every time the elevator would stop on his floor, which is so, like, nice of her and silly, but I'm definitely, like, 6 inches taller than her, so, like, that was not gonna protect me from anything. But it's fine. And then I told my other 2 roommates, and one of them had RA connections, and she was able to find out his last name and, like, which room he was in. And he wasn't even, okay, first of all, he wasn't on my floor or the floor under mine, so I have no idea why he was at that floor meeting. Like, my roommates gave me pepper spray and a taser because we were all freaked out. And I would see him from afar, and I just, oh my god, I had literally was, like, looking over my shoulder for weeks. Like, it freaked me out. And he wasn't even, like, too weird to me. I think I was just not, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I feel like some people are gonna hear this and they're gonna be like, girl, like, that's, like, he was just trying to talk you up or whatever. But, like, why did he stop talking to me right after he's, like, learned that I was getting breakfast with my friend, and, like, I told like, I didn't tell her, like, he doesn't know that I told her, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Why was he trying to keep me alone all the time? What's that all about? I don't know, but I'm alive, so I guess it's fine. If anybody has serial killer vibes, it's bro. Okay, so I forgot this until I started coloring, like, the last scene, and I was like, there's no way I'm working on that again. But when he had stopped me before I went to class that one time for dinner, he had cranberry juice, and he called it the blood of his enemies, and he asked me if I wanted some. So, what?